okay, we're getting a new video game based on Berserk. This is pretty exciting news, especially how big of a fan I am for Berserk. We haven't had a video game for Berserk since the Millennium Falcon video game. We had only 2 video games based on Berserk, and that was the Millennium Falcon, which was in 2004 if I'm correct, and then 1999 was the Sega Dreamcast Berserk game. So yeah, this is pretty exciting that we're actually going to be getting a Berserk video game yet again. So when it comes to this new teaser trailer for the new Berserk video game, you know, there isn't really much to go off of. All we really have much to go off of regarding this new trailer for the Berserk video game is that Casca is, you know, being wrapped up with tentacles around her, and this is pretty much signifying what goes on in the eclipse for Casca, you know, what happens to her. So I'm very curious as to when, you know, this, you know, game is going to take place in. You know, is it going to take place in the beginning portions of Berserk all the way up to the events of the eclipse, or will it take place after the events of the eclipse and up to the conviction arc, which would probably end up making the most sense, because in the conviction arc is when things get really heated, and, you know, that's where Guts ends up getting the Berserker armor, and, you know, things just, you know, get really fucking gruesome as, you know, the series progresses after the eclipse. And also it would make a lot more sense as well because of the fact that, you know, we have that new Berserk anime coming out in July of this year, so I can see this game as possibly being some form of promotion, possibly. What is also pretty interesting about this game is that it is going to be releasing on August 23rd of this year for the PlayStation 4, PS Vita, and Windows PC. So that is very cool. We are actually getting this game relatively soon, in fact. However, for Westerners, I don't really know, you know, if, in fact, you know, this game will end up being translated, because when it comes to Berserk is a very violent series, but that has never stopped video game companies before. But the thing about Berserk is that, you know, it has a following. It does, but it's more of a cult following than anything. It's not a very popular series. It's only a cult following that is pretty much, you know, keeping Berserk alive at this point. There's only a specific group of people who are into Berserk, and because of that, I don't know if the popularity will be as popular for the people in the West to actually receive a translated version of this game. So when it comes to that, I might just end up, you know, importing this game and playing the game in the Japanese version entirely. I don't really know if this game will end up getting a ported version for, you know, English-speaking countries, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, one thing that has me worried regarding this Berserk video game adaptation is that apparently it is going to be a Musou game, and the development team behind the Warrior series will be working on this Berserk adaptation, which they have worked on, you know, Dynasty Warriors, they have worked on One Piece, Kazuko Musou, and various other Warrior series as well, and usually those games end up doing fairly well. However, those games have, you know, their own cult following behind them, so they're not really that popular. And when it comes to Musou games entirely, from what I have heard on Musou games, you know, they have really low replay value. And when it comes to me personally, I've never played a Musou game, but they never seemed that, you know, interesting to me because from what I've heard of low replay value, and also due to the fact that they can be a little bit repetitive. I mean, it's pretty much, you know, you get a target to take down, clear that area, and pretty much rinse and repeat as you progress further along in whichever mode you are playing, the campaign or whatever. So I don't know. When it comes to Berserk, I'm very worried on it being a Musou game, but at the same time, it can also very much work well with Berserk because of the fact that it is going to be a hack and slash sort of series. So, you know, I'm very curious as to how this new video game of Berserk will play out. You know, I'm very worried on the fact that it could be a Musou game and it could prevent me from, you know, getting the game because of the fact that, you know, if I'm just going to end up, you know, doing one thing after another, it's going to get get boring, and when it comes to video games, I do not like that at all. But regardless, I am very excited as we are getting a video game for Berserk. It's just, you know, there's really not much to go off of regarding this announcement trailer, so I'm just gonna have to see more. I can't judge, you know, this new video game too harshly because I haven't seen anything from it yet. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on what you thought about this video and what you thought about the new announcement of this video game for Berserk. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to drop a like. It always helps out the channel. And if you want to stick up to date to my future content and stay up to date to possibly more news regarding this video game of Berserk, then hit that red subscribe button below and you will never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys. Love you all, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.